All right, welcome to the Red Ledger. Today we're looking at one of the most dangerous stocks on the market for an American investor, BYD. Now in this business, the biggest risks, they're usually not in the numbers. They're hidden in the fine print of government policy. And if you're holding the US ticker, BYDD, you need to listen closely. You are in a very, very precarious spot. Let's break it down.
Forget the balance sheet. Forget the technical charts. This is the single most important thing to understand right now. The threat here isn't a bad earnings report. The threat is a signature on a piece of paper in Washington, D.C. that could, literally overnight, make your shares impossible to trade. So here's the bottom line. Can you legally own this stock right now? Yes, you can. But is it safe? Absolutely not. The risk level is extreme. And if you need proof, just look at what happened last month. That was a direct shot across the bow from the Department of Defense. They're watching, and they are ready to pull the trigger.
And let's be clear about the date here. We're talking March 26, 2026. This is a snapshot. This entire situation is moving fast. What's true this morning might not be true by the time the market closes. You cannot take your eye off this ball.
Okay, so the first shadow hanging over this stock is the Coins Act. Just think of it as a financial blockade. It's designed specifically to stop American dollars from funding what the government considers China's most important tech industries.
Now, this isn't some broad, sweeping ban. It's surgical. It's aimed right at the brains of China's future military and economic power. We're talking AI, quantum computing, advanced semiconductors, the real crown jewels. If a company plays in these sandboxes, it is a target, period.
So you're asking, where does BYD fit in? Well, right now, its core business, making electric vehicles and batteries, puts it in a sort of green zone. It sidesteps the Coins Act. But, and this is a big but, there's a ticking time bomb. The moment its AI and autonomous driving unit gets spun off into its own entity, it's almost certain to land square in the red zone and get blacklisted. Now, the Coins Act is the slow-moving storm on the horizon. But last month, we got a flash of lightning, a real jump scare, courtesy of the puppet masters at the Pentagon. On February 13th, bam, BYD gets added to the official list of Chinese military companies. And then, just hours later, poof, it was gone. That wasn't a mistake. That was a message. So let's be very precise about what this 1260H list actually does. If a company is on it, it doesn't mean your broker calls you and force sells your position. Technically, all it means is the Pentagon itself can't sign contracts with that company. But for any trader, for any investor, that listing is the mother of all red flags. It's the government painting a giant target on a company's back. It is the first, clear, unambiguous step on the road to a full investment ban. It's the warning before the storm. Which brings us to the real question, doesn't it? Why the game? Why put them on the list just to take them off a few hours later? This wasn't some clerical error. This was a calculated, deliberate move. What you witnessed was pure geopolitical theater. With big talks between the US and China on the horizon, this is all about leverage. Keeping BYD off the list? That's the carrot. The clear and present threat of putting them right back on? That's the stick. It's a high-stakes game of regulatory chicken.
And why is BYD the piece they chose to play with? It all comes down to one thing, their Blade battery. They dominate that technology. And the US government doesn't see that as just a competitive advantage. They view it as a strategic national security vulnerability for America. That's why this company carries so much weight.
You have to drill this into your head. BYD isn't just a car company. To Beijing, it's a national champion, a symbol of their technological might. To Washington, it's a strategic threat that needs to be managed. You've got a company that Beijing absolutely loves and that DC deeply fears. So what's the trader's takeaway in all this? It's simple. When you own this stock, your money is not just riding on quarterly sales figures. Your position is stuck right in the middle of the crossfire between one country's global ambition and another country's national security agenda. That's the real risk you're holding. So I want you to ask yourself a hard question. Do you really know what you own? You think you bought a car and battery company. You didn't. You bought a geopolitical chess piece on a board that is very, very active. And the real question is, can you stomach the next move? Because you are not going to see it coming.